Today's video, I wanted to talk to you about one of the most pivotal additions I've made to my fat loss program over the past year, and it is one particular device that not a lot of people in the industry are utilizing to its fullest advantage for not only clients' fat loss journeys, hypertrophy journeys, but also their overall health and well-being. And you want to know what that is? Continuous glucose monitor. So what is this device that is a continuous glucose monitor? Well, this device actually reports and records all of your blood sugar levels in real time for long periods of time in a continuous fashion. One of the most important reasons why we want such a continuous reading of blood sugar levels is that we can see how we regulate or dysregulate those levels throughout the day. Blood sugar regulation is actually a key factor in fat loss and hypertrophy, overall health and well-being, and also understanding how we can make very specific nutritional food choices along with making lifestyle choices that better suit your health in the time being. So what influences blood sugar? Generally speaking, we look at food and hormones that are the drivers of blood sugar levels. Now, when we think of foods, we think of proteins, fats, and carbs. Now, carbohydrates are primarily the number one influence on your blood sugar. Now, proteins and fats also have an influence on your blood sugar, but in somewhat different ways. Protein, if you eat it all by itself, will have a rise in your blood sugar. However, if you couple it with other macronutrients, it becomes more of a stabilizer within your blood sugar. Then fat is actually a stabilizer of blood sugar as its main purpose. So we're not necessarily looking too much into the fats. However, what we're looking primarily at is carbohydrates and how you respond to them very specifically. Now, to go deeper into nutrition or food choices and reactivity to certain foods also have a very major impact on your blood sugar levels. If you were to eat broccoli, you may have a blood sugar level that rises slightly and just stabilizes and doesn't go too far out of the norms. Now, if I were to take in broccoli, I may see a spike that's a lot higher than normal. What that is telling me is that even though it's a great food, I'm having some sort of digestive or reactive about it that it doesn't necessarily agree with my body. So instead of going 2 weeks with broccoli and having detriments on my fat loss program, I can knock that out in the first week, probably within the first 2 days, and understand that broccoli just doesn't work for me, so we can move on to other things and get the faster result in a shorter amount of time. Now, when we think about hormones are very interesting because we have a multitude of factors that actually influence hormones, which then has an influence on our blood sugar levels. So think about lack of sleep, think about stress and cortisol production, as well as inflammation. Maybe there's an injury or maybe there is an actual food intolerance, so it's creating systemic inflammation inside the digestive tract. Now, when putting together a program, and I administer this program with some of my clients, what we have seen is in the first week, we understand what you can and cannot do or things that we need to work on immediately. Instead of going 4 to 6 weeks into a program, within the first week, we can really tailor down if things are working or not. So this goes beyond even more so than the skin fold assessment that I utilize, because even though we see 3 to 4 week changes on the skin folds and I can make my manipulations in the program, this has really brought in an internal view of really the reactions that are going on. Another really interesting piece about hormones and responses is that we actually predicted a week out somebody actually attracted COVID while utilizing this sensor. And 1 week out, blood sugar levels were all over the charts and it was very irregular, it was dysregulated, and nothing other than a little bit of stress at work really changed. However, a fever broke 5 days later after the first instance of this. And what's very interesting is that we were able to see that in the blood sugar. Now, we couldn't necessarily pinpoint what was going on, but it's very interesting to start seeing some of this data collected that could really give us an insight on what's going on in the next few weeks. Maybe it's brewing on the inside and we don't realize it until it finally manifests on the outside. What exactly is this sensor that I'm talking about? So the sensor is made by Abbott Labs and it is called the Freestyle Libre. It's right here on the back of my arm, and this sensor right here is actually Bluetooth connective. And the cool thing about this sensor is that you just download the app called Libre Link and you sign up for it, put your email in it or whatever, and then you sync up the sensor after you administer it. And I'm telling you, unlike other readers that prick your finger and the littlest needle probably just creates the worst anger of pain in the smallest spot, this thing, however, you do not feel it. I actually applied it and didn't even realize it went in. I thought it didn't go in, but you know, that's what she said. So you download the link, you start doing, after an hour of syncing, you can use the actual sensor. So we have to hit the scan button, you go up, you scan it real quick, and then I get my reading of what my real-time blood sugar level is. So the way I've applied this device into my nutrition program and training program, every morning you're gonna get a waking blood sugar level. During a meal, you're gonna get a blood sugar level. After the meal is complete, you're gonna get a blood sugar level. And then 30 to 60 minutes post the meal, you're going to get a reading as well. And you're gonna do this throughout the day. After the first couple days, you'll start seeing some either regulation or dysregulation. And this is where the keys happen, because as I know what they're eating and I have control of their food, I have control of their training, reps and volumes and tonnage throughout the days and the weeks, and then also understand and what their sleep recordings are on a very specific level, really see what's going on real time right now in the fat loss program. So it gives us the ability to make changes on the fly, on the go, if necessary or need be. And this is why it is going to be the future. Now, I got a whole bunch of test subjects on it right now since January, and I've got unbelievable results in probably almost half the time, because we're able to make these daily and weekly changes based on some of our readings and seeing if there's any continuity in a positive way or a negative way. So this has been the one device that has really made a big jump in my business for fat loss over the past few months. If you are not testing, you are guessing. So take out the guesswork, test, and ensure that those test results, you're utilizing them for the client's best results. Now stay tuned for future videos, as I'll be revealing some of my case studies as well as my own journey over the course of the next 3 months, where I'm gonna reveal some things that we found that we expected and a lot of things we did not expect. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I appreciate you guys for being out here. Stay strong. I'll see you next time.